Pradeep Pendyala, Professor of Anesthesiology. Today I am going to discuss with you something very interesting and examination point of view for postgraduate students. That's gate control theory of pain. This was actually described way back in 1965 by Melzack and Wall, Melzack and Wall, Wall. Okay, now before that you must know something about what is the central pain inhibiting mechanism in the body. The three important things are triad. The things which you must know is PAG, DLPT and RBM. What is PAG? Periaqueductal grade matter. And DLPT is dorsolateral pontine tegmentum, DLPT, dorsolateral pontine tegmentum. And the thing we must know, the triad of things which control the central pain inhibition mechanism is RVM, that is rostral ventral medulla. Now coming to these three, you must know that signals descend from the cerebral cortex to PAG, which is located in the midbrain, and from here the signal travels to the locus ceruleus, which is located at DLPT, and further down to locus rhamphus magnus in RVM. So these are the things you must know how it is this. And very important that the primary and secondary afferent fibers synapse at the interneuron. Basically, the action potential generated at these places, that is at RVM, DLPT and PAG, they travel down in the dorsolateral tracts of the spinal cord and terminate at the interneuron, where primary and secondary afferent fibers synapse. So, what is all this about? Still not clear? I'll tell you what exactly is this. Peripheral nervous system has centers at which pain stimuli can be regulated. Some areas in the dorsal horn of the spinal cord that are involved in receiving pain stimuli, you all are aware, that is A delta and C fibers, that is known as laminae, also receive inputs from A beta fiber. I'll tell you more about these things. The nociceptive fibers indirectly inhibit the effects of pain fibers that closes the gate to the transmission of the stimuli. In other parts of the laminae, the pain fibers itself inhibit the effects of nociceptive fibers. That is the way it does the opening of the gate. Still confused? I'll tell you more. This presynaptic inhibition of the dorsal nerve endings can occur through specific types of GABA-A receptors, which are not GABA-A receptors alpha 1 and not through the activation of glycine receptor, that you should remember. Thus, certain GABA-A receptor subtypes, not glycine receptor, can presynaptically regulate nociception and pain transmission. If you are still confused, I'll explain further. I'll make sure that you understand everything. An inhibitory connection may exist with A beta and C fibers, which may form a synapse on the same projection neuron. The same neurons may also form synapses with the inhibitory interneurons that also synapses on the projection neuron, reducing the chance that the latter will fire and transmit the pain stimuli to the brain. Thus, the inhibitory interneurons fires spontaneously. The C fiber synapse would inhibit the inhibitory interneurons indirectly, increasing the projection neuron's chance of firing. Thus, A beta fibers, on the other hand, form an excitatory connection with the inhibitory interneuron, thus decreasing the projection neuron's chances of firing, like C fibers and A beta fibers, just which I have explained, which have excitatory connections. Thus, if you are still confused, I'll tell you what exactly the mechanism of gate control. The mechanism of gate control theory can be used therapeutically. Gate control theory explains how stimulus that activates only non-nociceptive nerves can inhibit the actual pain. The pain seems to be lessened when the area is rubbed because activation of non-nociceptive fibers inhibit the firing of nociceptive fibers in the laminae. Okay, the nociceptive fibers are inhibited by the activation of non-nociceptive fiber. How you do it? By rubbing, massage or TENS. TENS is transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation. Non-nociceptive fibers are selectively stimulated with the electrodes in TENS, and thus they produce the effect and thereby lessen the actual pain. One area of the brain involved in the reduction of pain sensation is the periaqueductal gray matter, which I had mentioned. And afferent pathways interfere with each other constructively so that the brain can control the degree of pain that is perceived based on which pain stimuli are to be ignored to pursue potential gain. This is exactly how Amrutanjan, all these things, iodex and all massages work exactly on the same principle. That is gate control theory of pain. The brain determines which stimuli are profitable to ignore over time. Thus, the brain controls the perception of pain quite directly and can be trained to turn off forms of pain that are not useful. And this understanding led Melzack to assert the pain is in the brain. Gate control theory influenced the development of mindfulness-based pain management. Hope I have made it clear. If you are still doubtful, I'll come back to you again in my next episode of Teaching Anesthesia. Bye-bye. Take care.